that destiny of becoming a medical doctor may just be a mirage.
Yeah, I like the fact that also a lesson to pick up is the fact that we must do the things the right way. We must do things the right way in order to get the right and
Results.
results. So hello, it is Let It Be podcast with Susan Ozono.
I'm Lysias and Susan. Welcome on this channel.
We just want to take this moment to thank all our subscribers, all of you that have taken out time to subscribe as well as watch our videos and even like. We want to really appreciate you.
Yes, that was very encouraging. Thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of our community.
But we're asking for more of your encouragement. If you've not subscribed, please do us a favor and subscribe. Also, watch other videos and tell somebody about Let It Be podcast on Expand with Lysias and Susan Ozono.
We depend on you and we appreciate your friendship.
Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about something interesting once more. If you're looking for that place where you can get interesting stories, a place where you can also comment, a place where you're welcome just to sit down and communicate and share your opinion, then it is here on Let It Be podcast.
On Let It Be podcast, we bring to you informations. Sometimes things that initially you just look at it and you just want to scroll by, but we'll bring it to the front and then we'll let you know that this could be an issue, and then also we'll bring up one or two solutions, just to make our community and our society a better one for each and every one of us.
Exactly, you can say we're just lending our voice in the right direction with the aim of planting our feet in the sands of time that somebody spoke out, and we believe that even right now we will see the change that we stand for, making the society a better place.
Yeah, so stay with us and please enjoy our podcast. Also give us a thumbs up, comment in the section below, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, this is a good time to do that, and also hit that notification button so you will be notified anytime we drop any new video.
All right, so right now we're going to be talking about something that literally held the media space in 2024. I'm telling you, it was the talk of both the town and the city and the media and the social media. A lot of people were talking about it, but we're going to pick out something today. Do you believe in destiny?
Yeah, I do believe in destiny. I think that it is destiny that made me sit in this chair today, because truth be told, I never thought I would be in any podcast, let alone speak on TV. I've always been comfortable behind the scene, helping out. But you see, destiny itself is what calls us. Oftentimes, we don't realize that we are all destined for something, but then we don't work towards it because we get discouraged along the line. So yes, I believe in destiny.
Exactly. And there's always this mixture of destiny and faith. And when I say faith, it's the FATE. So yeah, the controversy here actually is that one is always used to connote negativity. So many people don't really talk about faith, because it looks like you don't have any power to control anything when it comes to faith. But when you're talking about destiny, then yeah, you have the choices that you make. Yes, you literally have a say in that. So people prefer to talk about destiny, and it's like a destination, like you're going somewhere. So it's not the same thing as it were. But do you feel that we have control over where we eventually end up? A lot of people have reached a particular space, or I've met some people that have reached a particular space, and they are all about, oh Sarah, what will be. What is your take on this?
Well, having control, most times control, I would say, is more like an illusion. An illusion, because there are things you can control and there are things you cannot control.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about destiny and controlling of how your destiny turns out, it is when you're talking about things that you can actually measure. Like, for instance, someone that loves swimming decides, okay, I'm going to be the greatest swimmer the world has ever known.
Okay.
Now, there are steps you can follow: your regiment, exercises, your food, and all of those things, because you are now trying to control what you get at the end of maybe a specified period of time. But you see, why people look at fate as not something you can't control is because you're talking about in the supernatural sense. What were you born to do? And oftentimes we don't have control over there because there's a God out there who is in control. Also, as human beings, we are fated to do one or two things differently from other people. We may do the same things, but someone out there can do it better, much more easier. That's the fate we're talking about. But destiny in itself, I believe that you can control your destiny. Going to school is like a destiny. You want to read medicine or any other thing, you've chosen that field. Now, if you don't sit down and study hard to pass all your exams, that destiny of becoming a medical doctor may just be a mirage.
I like the fact that you also mentioned that although there are some things that we do not have control over, it's not it won't be complete if you just stay on that path and say what will be will be.
No.
So we actually have a role to play, and we're talking about this for a reason. Talking about law of attraction, what you think about, what you imagine becomes your reality. There was a time where we believed so much in that, especially after reading the book The Secret. We just believe that in fact, when law of attraction came, there were a lot of testimonies as to how efficient that particular
book was.
Book, not just book, I don't know.
The secrets in the book.
Yeah, it's a belief system.
Yeah,
it's a belief system, and so there was a lot of belief in it, as it were, that the energy you give out, you give positive energy, you receive positive energy, as it were, and negative also attracts negative and all. But do you also think that that alone is enough?
If you imagine building the most beautiful house on earth, now for that dream or imagination to become a reality, you need to go some steps further. What are these steps? Number one, you must have a design for what you have imagined within you, and then you must also have the financial backing for it. Now, you start working towards the finances by doing one or two things that are generating income for you. But if you have that dream, a very big and lofty dream at that, and you're not working towards it, you're not working in terms of generating the revenue, you're dreaming about this, but you're just in your own house, there's no way it's going to come. It's not going to fall from the skies, and nobody's going to knock on your door one day and just come and call you and say, oh, I have this property, come and take over. It doesn't work that way. You must have been working towards it. So that is my own take on it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we're just doing all this just to I needed to know your belief. I needed to know where you stand on some of these things that was on the minds of a lot of people when this beautiful woman was crowned, Miss Universe.
Okay.
Yes, contested rather. And what caught our attention, however, was the fact that she had to drop out from contesting for Miss Universe South Africa, especially because there was a lot of, issues as it relates to her, her being a resident or being a citizen of South Africa. It was said then that there was something fraudulent about, her citizenship, and, the mother was being accused. But our focus, however, today is the fact that at that point, a lot of people, because she said, she granted interview and said, because of her, there was threats to her life, there was a lot of going, because of her family, she had to just drop out of this competition, as it were. Okay, so in a twist of events, was invited to come, compete for Miss Nigeria, Miss Universe Nigeria. Okay, so but my question, however, is at that point where you need to, because it was said she's a law graduate, and she had been in other pageants, at least one pageant before that time, where she wanted to contest. So, but at that point, she still had, that motivation to come.
Yeah.
To come to Nigeria and then, contests again. So you see, what we're trying to establish here is the fact that do not find yourself or place yourself at a point where it just happens and then it's the will of God. Anything would have happened at the point where she got an invitation. But let's not just base the will of God when it doesn't work out. Let's also remember the will of God when it starts looking, promising, even if you cannot see it. Because imagine now leaving South Africa to now come to Nigeria. What are the odds? We also have beauty queens. There were a lot of them that participated in that particular pageantry. And then she had to come down. And then she did not just come down, she had to start all over, with the whole process and everything. So I don't know what you have to say. I think it's just a story that you could take bit by bit and see the strength. Beyond the crown is the fact that there was a strength, there was things that we don't get to see now in a lot of people. And anytime you do what people would, look at and say, maybe I would have done different when if it was me, you realize that people celebrate those things. So there are these nature and characteristics that people would always celebrate. What do you think about that?
Yes, number one is you must decide what you want now, and then you must go all out for what you want. And then while at that, you must carry yourself gracefully.
Okay.
I believe that one of the things that worked for her was because she had sympathy from both the international communities, both in South Africa, also in Nigeria, which prompted Guy Murray Bruce to actually invite her to come. Now, for instance, if she had gone all negative, it would have impacted her outlook and how people saw her also.
That's the point.
You understand?
Yeah.
But you see, she was able to drive out a point that whatever my mom is being accused of, this is not me we're talking about. Now, I was born and bred, she was born in South Africa, grew up in Cape Town, so that virtually made her a citizen. So her mother's challenge shouldn't affect her. But there's always been controversies, there's always been issue between anything that has to do with a Nigerian and a South African. There's always been that contest. But we're not going into that. We're talking about her personnel right now. She carried herself gracefully, and then she ensured that she was passionate about what she was going out for. And then being invited, she was able to also attend. Those are the things that worked out for her. Now, a lot of people will look at it and say, okay, maybe it wasn't the will of God that, or maybe it was the will of God. That was why she was stopped, from contesting in South Africa. And that is where we make our mistakes. We forget that God's will in itself doesn't just come and then we waltz through it. There has to be some stumbling blocks here and there. It is our ability to withstand and overcome those stumbling blocks that makes us the shining stars that the world will reckon with.
Exactly. So, just in case you're just joining us, let's just give you an overview of what we're talking about. We're talking about, a contestant of Miss Universe South Africa 2024. She is no other than Chidimma Adetshina. Yes, she was born in Soweto, all right, and was also a permanent resident, of South Africa. And this was why she even contested in the first place. But something really happened when the fact that she was a resident became a thing of scrutiny. So there was open investigation, and they realized that there was something about her residency. Well, it didn't end there. Something also happened after that investigation. They realized that she had a Nigerian father, which automatically makes her a Nigerian. All right. So all that happened to her, and the high point of the story was also the fact that she decided to drop out. She decided to not pursue the Miss Universe, South Africa, and she decided to drop out. But there was a twist in the story where, Guy Moray Bruce, who is the Nigerian's national director of the Miss Universe, invited her over to come and represent Taraba State, yes, at the Miss Universe. So on November 16th, to be precise, which 2024, Chidimma Adetshina made history. She became the first runner-up at the 73rd Miss Universe pageant in Mexico. Now she's the first Nigerian and African woman to achieve the honor. That's one thing that we should remember. Okay, so and also for being the highest ranked African contestant in 2024, she was also crowned Miss Universe Africa and Oceania. So the one crown came with other crowns, like it literally opened the door to other crowns. Okay, so regardless of what happened in between, other things happen. So we're talking about destiny, we're talking about fate. Now, Lysias rightly pointed out that we have a role to play in ensuring that we get to our destination. I like the fact that destiny is also a word that can be seen in destination, so we're going somewhere. But today, the question for all of us is, what is stopping us? How do you view the things that come your way? If, a young woman, her bravery, her resilience, her motivation is something that really held, just as I said, the media space. Yeah, it just held them, in one place. It just made a lot of people to think, what would have happened if you just stopped somewhere? Lysias, I don't know if you've had the point where a lot of things happened to you and you would have stopped, but you decided to just go, and then you realized that it was the best decision that you took.
Yes. Growing up after secondary school and attempting JAM, a lot of us couldn't make it through JAM the first time, and it became very discouraging because we couldn't understand how the questions, objective questions and all that. But you see, one of the things that kept me going was when I had to look back at what my dad said. My dad said, look, I have done my own bits. This is your own time now. What you choose to do now will determine your future, will determine how life treats you. That really touched me, and I had to really sit up. First admission, agri-econs, and I really never liked agri-economics, so I couldn't go on with that. I had to let that one slide before I was now admitted to study physics. At that point, a lot of people would have given up and said, maybe I should go and do something else. Maybe I'm not destined to see the four walls of the university. But I had to pursue it because it was a passion, it was a desire that I had. Now, there are a lot of people out there who will face one or two challenges and decide to give up.
Yeah.
What I want to advise is, if you're passionate about it, if this is your dream and it's what you want to achieve, then you must go all out for it. Fight the odds to become and to achieve what you want to achieve.
I think this brings us to a point where we must, analyze ourselves and look at who we are. Because winning or losing starts from how you view yourself. Just as I said at the beginning, when you look at the story, you realize bit by bit what this lady carries. And it went ahead of her. We had a lot of people saying, oh, maybe it was manipulated. But do you manipulate it even at the, the level, the international level too? I don't think so. I believe that there are things that she had personally. There are some personal things like the resilience, just as we mentioned. It's important that you work on yourself. For me, one thing that stands out is the fact that this lady knew who she is. And it's a lesson for all of us to be able to tell ourselves, and I'm being specific because a lot of people wait for situations to tell them who they are, and then when it doesn't, just fit into their own narrative, it becomes a sad story, and that is all. Sometimes you need to know who you are and have a goal. Just have a goal. Other things, we talked about law of attraction. Other things will come together by the end of the day. And how do you see negativity as a person? How do you see those things, those pitfalls? How do you see them?
For me, negativity or those pitfalls, those challenges, the initial time is very discouraging. But when I have time to look inward, as in retrospect now, I look in and I start telling myself, look, this is not the end of life, and this is not where it ends. So for a while now, I've been able to, overcome negativity by talking to myself and telling myself, look, I can actually do this, and then picking myself up and trying to do it. Now I see failure as one way of not doing it, so that is my take on it.
Okay, yeah. For me, I just feel that those negative things are a stepping stone, to greater heights. I mean, if that didn't happen, who knew what would have been the story? So it's something to take away also from all of this. It's something to take away. There it's no limit to what you can become and achieve, and it can be anywhere. Sometimes we're so bent on having something work for us in a particular way, at a particular time, at a particular space, but it can be anywhere. I think that brings to mind the fact that just be good at what you're doing.
Of course, be good at what
opportunity can come from anywhere.
And then don't take, they say don't take no for an answer. No in itself could actually tell you that you are doing the same wrongly, or your manner of approach is wrong.
Exactly.
Or possibly you're talking to the wrong people.
Yeah. So that's very important. I know there are updates on this particular issue, but just as I said, there is a lot to take. To take home from the story of Chidimma. And I think for a long time we're going to be talking about her because she went on to win at a particular level that very few Africans have been able to go. And her story also went global because of the steps that she took in the right direction, as it were. I wanted us to talk a little about something that I discovered. The BBC reported that there was something like a xenophobia attack on Chidimma. They had that report. Xenophobia is not something that is new to us. It's actually fear or hatred for people that are not of the same nationality, people from different countries. It simply said fear of strangers, as it were. But you see, since that is not even the bone of contention here, because the end of the story really it turned out right. And we had a lot of South Africans also saying that no, it was partiality and the rest. Okay, well, that's fine, but I realized that as much as this is an issue where we don't like to talk about it, it is said that this xenophobia is actually gotten, it's something that is common with children.
Really?
Yes, it's common. It was actually gotten from children. Say the peak is at between 6 to 9 months, 10 months here, about that fear of. So it's likened to it. Although now it is said that it is more of politics, but it is said that it is a belief system and it is more psychological. Yes, and can be found in children. We're just hoping that everybody needs each other, and that this whole issue of xenophobia attacks will just, literally stop or find a way to just exist. I don't know if you have anything to say
on this issue of xenophobia. I think it calls to mind the insecurity that people actually feel. My take is, if you are hardworking and you find someone of another nationality, come into your country who is very hardworking, I don't think it should be a threat to you. Because he is not coming to take away your pay. He can only take away your own pay when you are lazy and then your employer decides to, fire you to get someone who is competent. I think you shouldn't get angry with the person. You should look at yourself and try to improve yourself. That's what I think.
All right, yeah. I just feel that there will always be Nigerians in other nations of the world, just as there would always be other nationalities also in Nigeria. And we should just find a better way to coexist, because every time these attacks have come up, people have died, and it never stopped the fact that we still mingle and we still get married. We're just praying that we will embrace each other, and also this young woman will be able to just go through her season of pageantry, as it were, of being a queen, with the support that she needs from both places, because a lot of people saw her as an ambassador for both South Africa and Nigeria together, and that's the way we're seeing it on Let It Be, because we believe that we are together. We believe that together we can make the world a better place.
We are together, we are one, we bleed red, and there's no need for us killing each other. Rather, we can all come together and make the world a better place.
Exactly. So Lysias, I'm just hoping that, at that time when I'm down, somebody will just call me and say, don't worry about being down, just come over. Because I can imagine how the call came for her, and it was just the best call ever. Well, that's on the lighter note. So what do you have to say? We need to know your own opinion about the Chidimma case. Yes, it has not passed, especially because we're saying that a lot is happening concerning her mother right now. But in subsequent episode, if we, if it's necessary, we will be talking about that. So we're just hoping that some of these rules would also be made, flexible, so that people can acquire the things they can acquire. Also, a lesson to pick up is the fact that we must do the things the right way. We must do things the right way in order to get the right result, so that posterity don't come biting us, at the end of the day.
Also, tell us what you think about fate and destiny. Do you think they are one and the same, or do you think they are distinct? And then let us know what your take is on it.
Exactly. And if you're watching Let It Be right now on Expand with Lysias and Susan, it's your destiny. So be sure to subscribe and let us move to a beautiful destination where we impact lives and we build relationships and we affect our society the positive way.
Yes, that's right. We appreciate your time. Thank you for watching this podcast. Please subscribe, hit that notification button, and also comment. Let's know what your thoughts are.
And just in case Chidimma Adetshina is watching, we say congratulations. Keep on enjoying your crown. It takes a lot to be a queen.
So this is where we are wrapping up on this edition of Let It Be, airing on Expand with Lysias and Susan.
Yep.
From me till I see you some other time, I'm Lysias Susan.
And I'm Susan Ozono. Bye.